Good afternoon, everyone. Dane Wormlinger here in the News Channel 9 Stream Center. We're coming on with some developing news where just moments ago, we are live outside the Hamilton County Criminal Courtroom where former Chattanooga Police Chief Celeste Murphy, the attorneys representing her, have now entered a not guilty plea on behalf of her after she's been found guilty, or rather has been accused of 17 charges, including forgery, perjury, and illegal voter registration charges. These, of course, stemming from concerns about her residency. On your screen right now are the grand jury charges that stemming from this TBI investigation into her residency concerns. 6 counts of official misconduct, 3 counts of forgery, 3 counts of perjury, 3 counts of false entry in government records, including false entry on election documents and illegal voter registration. Right now, we again are live outside the courtroom where this just happened moments ago.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm here on behalf of Ms. Murphy. Your Honor, we're here for arraignment. We filed prior to this date a waiver waiving her presence. We would read a formal reading of the indictment and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. After consultation with State's Counsel, I believe the next date we've selected is September the 19th, Your Honor.
September 19th on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. May I be excused? Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Now, the biggest thing to come out of this arraignment that we noticed is that the former chief of police was not there herself. Again, her attorneys appearing on her behalf. Right now, we have our reporter, A.C. Barker, joining us from just outside the courtroom there. A.C., you were there as this unfolded. It was very short-lived.
Yeah, Dane, short-lived is the best way to put it. I think it's safe to say there is a lot of anticipation around this morning. There's so much media presence here this morning, and it seems like the building itself is just buzzing with people expecting to see former Chief Celeste Murphy. And so we're in the courtroom this morning, and it appears that she has waived her presence. She's not here this morning. And so, as you said, her attorney entered a not guilty plea on her behalf, and that is pretty much it. Like you said, very short-lived, but it's far from over. There is another court appearance set for Thursday, September 19th. And so I think a lot of anticipation around that date now. We're hoping to see her in person then to hear what she would have to say. But right now, like you said, really all we know, because she's not here, all we know is that her attorney entered a not guilty plea on her behalf. We are hoping to get in touch or hopefully get a hold of her attorneys this morning so we can find out just a little bit more information and hear what they would have to say, or rather say on her behalf. Like I said, I think a lot of anticipation around this morning and what it could bring, but I think everybody is a little bit shocked to not see her here this morning, especially everybody here in the media. So honestly, Dane, I wish that we had more details, but like I said, short-lived and unexpected.
Thank you very much for that reporting. Again, this was a big moment for the Chattanooga Police Department, where their former chief of police is seen on the other side of law enforcement this morning. Again, we want to break down what exactly the process of an arraignment looks like for you. For those who might not know a lot about the legal process, this really is the first hearing in the criminal process. Again, very short this morning, less than 10 minutes. The judge formally reading those charges aloud to her attorneys, who then have entered a not guilty plea on her behalf. Again, she was not present this morning. No testimony is given in this arraignment process. And again, as we heard, September 19th is that next court date that has been set in this process. Again, here's a live look outside the criminal court. We've seen people filing out, again, as AC mentioned, a lot of people expecting the former chief of police to be there herself. We did not see her. Again, this all stemming from her concerns about her residency. Basically, the TBI saying that she knowingly had entered false information on several government documents regarding living in Chattanooga. We know that her contract as chief of police stipulates that she must live within the city of Chattanooga. She does have property in the Fulton County area in Atlanta, and of course is still receiving the homestead tax exemption on that property as of our last check. A lot of these concerns stemming back from March, and throughout this process, the former chief of police had shared to the public that she would be cooperating with this. And then, of course, her resignation coming back on June 26th, then turning herself in the following day, June 27th, on those 17 charges, both felony and misdemeanor, and posting bond for $19,000. We, of course, have been been covering this from the very beginning. Let's go ahead and listen into what we first reported on the day she announced her resignation.
One count of 17 former police chief Celeste Murphy now faces.
I can only assume they've come to a determination that she's not a resident of Tennessee. And if you're not a resident of Tennessee, you can't register and or vote in Tennessee.
Murphy faces charges of official misconduct, forgery, perjury, and illegal voter registration. The indictment says Murphy made a false statement under oath in a voter declaration. Attorney Jonathan Turner isn't connected to the case, but helped us understand the charges.
My guess is she actually voted. So applying for your voter registration would have been the first violation. And then actually going and voting, you would be doing all this again, because when you vote, you write your name down, you attest that you still live at that address.
Through open records, we received Murphy's voter registration form in Hamilton County. She listed her home address as an apartment on Broad Street and a home on Old Wauhatchie Pike. But Fulton County, Georgia property tax records show she declared a tax exemption for a home there, saying it was her full-time residence during the same time period. Online records show that's still the case. This is Murphy's contract renewal that required her to live in Tennessee to serve as chief. In March, when this controversy began, a city spokesperson says the city auditor found allegations about Chief Murphy's residence to be unsubstantiated.
Where the auditor looked into her residency and he issued a report that she was legal within the rules of the city. It is interesting that he released an opinion that said she's perfectly compliant with the Chattanooga law, but now she's been indicted by a district attorney that says she's not.
We received the former chief's letter of resignation. It says she didn't want to, quote, distract the community or the dedicated men and women of the Chattanooga Police Department, and that's why she resigned yesterday.
Less than 10 minutes this morning, facing 17 charges, again, both felony and misdemeanor. Of course, we've heard from law enforcement saying that really this has been kind of a crushing blow to the force, because they've been able to accomplish a lot of great work together with Celeste.
Presence, we would read a waive formal reading of the indictment and enter a plea.
This happens at a chief level, it really puts a black eye on law enforcement.
17 misdemeanor and felony charges for the former chief of police have some wondering what position that leaves the police department in.
So now the morale is definitely going to go down, and they're trying to figure out which way do we go now.
Former Chief Celeste Murphy resigned Wednesday amid a TBI investigation due to questions about her residency. Murphy now faces 17 charges, including official misconduct, forgery, perjury, and illegal voter registration. When you heard that she was resigning from her position, what was your reaction?
Personally, it hurt because it feels as though, again, that beacon of light has been dimmed, and it crushed me because we have been able to do a lot of great work together.
Chris Sands, Executive Director of Community Safety and Gun Violence Prevention with the City of Chattanooga, worked with Murphy on community outreach initiatives. He says he hopes the next chief can pick up where she left off.
Some of the legacy things that she left was the community policing model. She had a strong passion in her heart to see young people put down their guns, get out of the streets.
A release from the TBI says agents determined Murphy, quote, knowingly entered false information on several government documents related to establishing residency in Chattanooga, though swearing to their truth in signing the documents. We obtained a homestead tax exemption form filed by Murphy that lists her legal state of residence in Georgia. Now the search for a new chief, Mayor Tim Kelly says, is already underway.
If you're looking at a jurisdiction the size of Chattanooga, You're going to need somebody with extensive admin experience, someone who does, understand the ins and outs of a larger agency that has multiple divisions and shifts and units, and really some unique problems.
Harry Summers, CPD's current executive chief of police, will serve as the interim chief of police for now.
And again, as we are back in live here outside the criminal court in Hamilton County, we have seen the attorneys there for former Chief Murphy basically entering that not guilty plea to these 17 felony and misdemeanor charges. Again, they're there on your screen now to take a look at them. But in the meantime, the Chattanooga Police Department is now at odds looking for their new chief of police. There is an interim that is Executive Chief of Police Harry Sommers filling in the interim. Again, he has expressed that he will not take on that role full time. He will serve until they do appoint a new chief of police. Chattanooga Mayor Tim Kelly's office, the city, working to put together a coalition, a team to work on ways on finding this next chief of police. They want to hire from within the Chattanooga Police Department. We do know that Celeste Murphy came from outside of the Chattanooga Police Department, coming from serving the Atlanta Police Department for over 2 decades. So lots to be determined here from the Chattanooga Police Department, and will of course entering a not guilty plea on those 17 charges.